when I kind of look back into my career, it doesn't really look like a journey of career. It feels like a disruption all through, from education into my career later on, which did not really wait for an approval or permission. I studied in about 10 cities of Uttar Pradesh. Good old beautiful UP board, Hindi medium, all boys, no girls at all, till you are at 12. Laugh at now, yes. And let's be honest, English was the most bunked class. सब बंक करता। English का जो टीचर था ना, वो पिटाई भी हिंदी में करता। Now, UP boys की, UP board के बच्चे थे ना, उनकी एक struggle different होती थी। कैसी different होती थी? Imagine this. One of my good-looking friends has a beautiful girlfriend from a convent school, and in that process, the girl wrote a letter in English, of course. Now it became a team activity for us. 6 of us gathered together with a dictionary in our pocket, sat in the university ground, trying to first of all understand what she wrote, and then preparing an answer which can be befitting. And then one of them had a beautiful handwriting, so he wrote on behalf of the guy who actually was the recipient of the letter. But that was not all. The letter went back through the channel we had, and the girl was pretty fast. Lunch period में उसने जवाब भी लिख मारा. अब वो letter आके वापस से reconvene हुए, but the writer had gone to attend and manage. So now we have regrouped, reconvened, wrote a response to that, but writer नहीं. So one day has gone waiting for him, 2 days gone waiting for him, nothing happened. The girl is restless. I'm getting messages that, she might drop this boy. So we took a bike, went to that city where this guy was attending a wedding, made him write the letter for that. आजकल के ज़माने में, पुराने ज़माने में सिर्फ अफेयर हुआ करता था, आजकल के ज़माने में तो रिलेशनशिप भी एंड्रॉइड के वर्जन की तरह हो गई ना, रिलेशनशिप, नैनोशिप, रिलेशनशिप, पेंचिंग, ब्रेड क्रम्ब शिप. All right, so I never knew at that time that dictionary will become the best friend I will ever have. So imagine this: all boys, Hindi medium. I go into the graduation with a borrowed shirt, beautiful shoes from another boy, belt, everything, thinking that I'm looking my best. I was not looking my best ever. So we are trying to look our best because we are going to sit in the same class where the girls will be sitting. So we want to impress them by wearing some of the best things we can wear. But next thing, what happens? The professor walks in. An amazing guy, absolutely fluent English, introduces himself. I didn't get half of it. क्या बोला उसने? फिर बोलता है, we are going to teach tissue today. And I said, hey. ये सब पढ़ाते हैं यहाँ पर, टिश्यू पढ़ाएंगे. Then followed the bomb. What he meant by tissue was all my life ऊतक हुई. Hindi medium ऊतक, tissue is ऊतक. Cells are कोशिका. Photosynthesis is प्रकाश संश्लेषण. And I'm thinking, हो रहा क्या है मेरे साथ? Like a day and the night. So the entire first year I was not studying science. I was studying translation with that pocket dictionary in my pocket. So anyways, I was not a great student either. So imagine this, a below average student with almost non-existent English, a perfect recipe for disaster. खैर, जब तक second or third year आया, English समझ में आने लगी, so I climbed up to the top 5 student. But that was my Rudra moment. And what is the Rudra moment? When the first disruption happens, you have nothing working for you that you have learned all your life. The only thing that matters is your ability to survive and adapt. So, my father, the cherry on the cake is that my father was on a transferable job. So, every almost a year and a half, we'll get transferred, we'll go to a new city. So, from Dehradun to Bulandshahr to Rohit to Lucknow to Faizabad to God knows. I had only one thing to do. I would have about 1 year or 15 months to make friends and drop them behind because I'll go to the new city. But between these train journeys and going to new cities, I was learning new friends, I was getting new culture, new food, and a new lens by which I would see the world. And to be adaptable, to make new friends, to get into a new culture was my first superpower. One of my boss told me, Rohit, तेरा education बिल्कुल बेकार, which I agree now also. But remember one formula of life, जब भी challenge मिले, take it, give you 100% and tell yourself, हो जाएगा. So that line became my compass. हो जाएगा, give my 100%, हो जाएगा. So there were transfers which were given to me to go to Chennai and to Bangalore and to Bombay and to Ottawa and to Kanpur and to Lucknow and finally Delhi. Now, every time I went from one city to another, I was sent on a firefighting mission. When Chennai is sinking, go there. I was saying, okay, ho jayega. Go back to Bombay, ho jayega. I got down in Bombay in the Rajdhani Express, and I remember there were some people chasing bhaiyas from Bihar and UP, and I kind of hid my identity that I'm from UP. At that point in time, bhaiya bhagaya jata tha Bombay se. So when you go to this kind of place and you have got multiple resistances coming in to different challenges and you survive there, this is exactly what makes you more versatile to live any kind of circumstances. So with each crisis, with each new challenge came a new promotion, and when I was 31 years, I was leading an American Israeli company which is the biggest in medical laser in the world, and I was leading their Indian operations. So from selling medicines to selling medical equipment to handling children with different kind of disabilities, each version, each phase broke the entire version of me and created a much bolder, much sharper version. That became more successful, and by the time I reached Delhi, life was pretty sorted. Itna paisa milta tha, kharch nahi hota tha. I made my competition also miserable, but being comfortable is absolute danger. It numbs your ability, your need to grow. This is exactly what might happen. And so I realized that I was an exceptionally gifted employee for my company, and I was pushing my personal dreams behind because I was trying to be more successful, proving myself to my employers. But that whisper inside you that tells you can do better, you are meant for more, that would not leave me alone. So I let go something that most people always say, do not let go of stability. So I left my cushy job, chasing something that would refuse to leave me alone, and that was one statement. I was in the hearing industry for 15 years, and in 15 years, nothing changed in industry. The 65% of globe did not have access to hearing care, including India. And nothing changed, status quo, what a beautiful life it is. 15 saal, koi kuch karke tayar nahi. So, my version was the 65% market can be grown, and if I can make some difference in this kind of market, why not? So, it was not a fancy business plan. It was from absolute discomfort, frustration, and honestly, a multi-decades stillness, which was standing in this industry for years. So I told my family, I'm going to leave this job, and I'm going to solve this global problem myself. मुझे सुनने में कितना अच्छा लगता है, फैमिली में जाके बोलते हैं। उनके मन में क्या हो, I'll not talk about it. But they kind of had their own hesitation that, oh, you are going to solve a global problem. Amazing. And you are going to solve it so simply that again the world will turn around. But yeah, it will. I'm going to create a disruption, and this disruption may be uncomfortable, and this disruption is going to shake a lot of power centers, but I can do something better. But imagine, look at this. EV kahan se aaya? Ford se? No. Mercedes se? No. EV came from outside. Drones did not come from Airbus or Boeing. Oil did not come from Hayat Regencies or the Marriotts. So disruption always comes from either frustrated inside or highly motivated outside. For someone who had had enough of statement and status quo, that was me. So I said, chalo, disruption karte hain, aag lagaate hain. Kuch nahi to apne ghar mein aa gayi. But whenever you go for a disruption, and you are going to break the inertia. Inertia is created by the giants because they have become so big, they don't want you to be a challenger. The barrier to entry is so high that you cannot scale it. You have got only one thing. Either you change the battleground, तुम्हारे में लड़ना ही नहीं, अपने battleground में आते हैं, or you kind of disrupt or destroy everything which is already there. Why do you think Mahabharata happened? The peaceful coexistence was not an option. So the disruption, the complete destruction happened. In our case also, the peaceful coexistence was not an option because all these giants, I'll not name them, they did not want this problem to be solved. But anyways, it happened, and with a very heavy dose of jugaad, Delhi especially, we are good at jugaad. With a vision, the healthy dose of a vision that said, every complex problem doesn't need a complex solution. A solution can be simple. So we came out with a very simple solution to an extremely complicated problem. And I always believe if you are running your business, you should be passionate about your business, not emotional, because your emotions will not let you get out of a mistake fast. And if one must fail, it must fail fast, so that you can focus, regroup your energy, and focus and allocate your resources to the right place. So when I started this company, we had like 5 or 6 ideas, and now only 2 are standing. One is the remote audiometry, which means I can be sitting in Delhi and I can be holding a patient for a diagnostic in Africa or America. So we can handle this in any part of the world, anytime, anywhere, no travel required, no waiting. We're just trying to hyper-localize the entire thing, which was elusive for so many decades. Now, a senior doctor, we were in a small place close to Panipat, a 40-year-old practice, and he would say, you know, my patients have to go to Delhi 4 years to get a test done. And we said, now this is a solution available. He said, oh, it was so simple. This was available all these years. Was it so easily solvable? Then why nobody solved it? Why these people are struggling so much that they have to travel much difficult times, terrains, and spend so much money to get a simple diagnostic done? So it was not about the breaking of the market, it was breaking the patterns, breaking the inaction or the indifference or the limitations created by ourselves, nobody else. So we wanted to have innovation and access and empathy to come in. So one thing my life has told me very clearly, every disruption will feel like destruction. You will lose friends, you will gain definite enemies, you will uncover some of the truths that you never wanted to. And one thing, if you face them with conviction and clarity, there's a doorway to transformation. So from Utak to tissue, from supply to the reality, from Zid to global accessibility, from dictionary to the independence from dictionary, we have built a cart and supply powered by Zid and guided by one simple thing, ho jayega. So kar lijye. Thank you.